The neighbor's dog stopped barking 3 nights ago. I only noticed because its absence left a hole in the fabric of the night, that steady, rhythmic punctuation of silence I'd grown used to. Now, the dark feels heavier, more porous. It started with the clock. Just a small thing, my grandmother's pendulum clock in the hallway, which hasn't worked since I was a child, suddenly ticking. Then the footsteps. Not the creaks of settling floorboards, but the deliberate press of weight on hardwood pacing between the kitchen and the living room while I lay coiled under my bedsheets. I told myself it was the house breathing, old bones shifting. I opened the fridge and the light didn't flicker on, stood there in the humming dark milk carton in hand, until I realized the hum wasn't coming from the appliance at all. It was lower. A sound like wet machinery vibrating up through the soles of my feet. Now, I sit at the kitchen table with all the lamps on, tracing the watermark left by a coffee cup I don't remember using. The air smells like static and moss. Outside, a street lamp flickers, casting long shadows through the blinds. One of them doesn't move when the light dies. I haven't slept. I haven't looked behind me yet. The shadow stretches, a smudge of deeper black against the dim, until the street lamp sparks back on. It's still there, that wrong silhouette, jagged at the edges like it's wearing thorns. My breath fogs in the air, though the heating's been running all week. A draft whispers past my ear. It carries the scent of damp soil, the kind that clings to turned graves. My hands are glued to the table, fingertips numb against the wood grain. The clock ticks again, louder now, each snick of the pendulum a needle in my temples. 3007. 3007. Though when I squeeze my eyes shut, the sound splinters, becoming the scrape of a thumbnail against metal, slow, deliberate. The lamps begin to dim. Not a brownout, a slow leaching of light, like the bulbs are filling with ink. The shadow shifts, not closer, deeper. It folds into itself, a hole in the shape of a man. Suddenly the footsteps are back, not from the living room now, but behind me. A wet, rhythmic squelch, each step accompanied by a low, mechanical grind. The coffee stain on the table has spread, tendriling toward my wrist. It's not brown anymore. The footsteps stop. Whatever is breathing down my neck smells like opened winter earth. My throat clicks dryly when I swallow. Oh God! I close my eyes. I count. When I open them, I look. A reflection stares back at me in the coffee-black mirror of the spill. Not my face! My face! But, sharpened, angles too severe, pupils swallowed by the dark. Something hums beneath my skin, a static that isn't mine. I lift my hand. The reflection's fingers curl a half-second later. My palms burn. I press them to my cheeks and feel warmth, too much warmth, like blood breaching the surface. The shadow unfurls behind the reflection, a rattle of branches, bone bare and clawing. My mouth fills with the taste of copper and frozen mud. That grind again, closer, a pendulum's groan inside my molars. The shadow leans into the reflection, into me, its edges dissolving into smoke that licks my jawline. The grind becomes a vibration deeper than voice. Letters form behind my eyes, searing. Open! Something cracks. Glass. The shadow jerks, dispersing into fragments that skitter across the walls. The coffee ripples. For a heartbeat, my reflection blinks, once, slow, with eyes the color of fresh-cut ice. My hands shake, raw and red as if I've scrubbed them in snow. On the table, the spill has dried into a perfect circle. Inside it, faint as a thumbprint smudge, the outline of a key. The front door creaks. Not a draft. My tongue sticks to the roof of my mouth, parchment dry. The key, if it is a key, glares up from the stain, misshapen and warped. My ribs cage a heartbeat, too jagged, too loud. The door creaks again, soft, deliberate. The air tempers, my breath fogs, shadows along the walls ripple like submerged weeds. I reach for the key. It flakes beneath my fingertips, brittle as ash, but leaves a residue, slick and faintly sweet. Rotting violets. Turn around, hisses the static, not a command, a suggestion, oily, in the hollow of my ear. The hall yawns ahead, dim. The door isn't fully closed. Beyond it, a sliver of street lamp glow bled orange through fog. Except, no, the light pulses, throbs, bruise-colored veins branch across its edges. The floorboards sag under my weight, spongy, alive. I take a step. My reflection watches from the hallway mirror. Motionless, smiling with my mouth but not my eyes. Static erupts, a scream tuned to a frequency. The key shifts, squirms, slithers into the lock before I can scream, before I can think. The door exhales. Cold pours in. Not winter air, the cold of soil 6 feet down. Familiar, somehow. A memory dug up. Beyond the threshold, the street's gone. Only fog, thick enough to chew. And there, at the edge of sight, a silhouette, hunched, waiting. It raises a hand. Mine lifts in answer. The fog caresses my face like cobwebs cling sticky, insistent. My arm stays raised, tendons taut, as if strings burrow beneath my skin. The silhouette tilts its head, accompanied by a wet, glutinous sound as bruised street lamp light stains the mist purple. My heels drag through gravel that shouldn't exist. The porch has crumbled to dirt, sweet rot clinging like funeral violets. The silhouette's fingers twitch unnaturally, releasing a moth-wing scrap of familiar hair. The mayor's grin burns behind my eyelids when I blink. Static murmurs turn around inside my honey-thick skull. The fog sculpts half-remembered shapes, a rusty swing, disturbed earth smelling of rainwater and wriggling glass. The silhouette shudders, edges fraying. A hive-buzz chorus leaks through the cracks. "You let us out!" Cold rises through bubbling mud that wasn't there moments before. Something glints beneath the mud surface. A locket? My reflection surfaces in the muck, wide, screaming eyes, mouth choked with beetles. Knots of fingers twist around my legs. The static becomes a shriek as the silhouette presses closer. My throat tears with an alien scream. Final revelation strikes. It wears my skin like ill-fitting lace. The scream lodges somewhere outside me now, muffled under layers of silt. My jaw aches where beetles click syllables I don't remember speaking. The silhouette's skin melts over mine, not replacing, just softening the edges. The locket presses against my ribs through the sludge. When did it crawl there? I can't open it. My fingers split into threads that curl into the soil, stitching me to damp earth. "Us," whispers the fog. It holds childhood photos in its syllables, mother's braid unwinding, a shovel splitting roots, my reflection caught in the dented locket the night she buried it. The street lamp dies. Moonlight leaks through cracks in the silhouette's stolen face. I want to claw at its papery mask, but my hands cradle the mud gently. Like tending a grave, something unspools in my chest. Not fear, not anymore. A terrible relief, becoming the wound, not the knife. The silhouette's breath gusts sour against my temple as its jaw unhinges. The locket clicks open in the mud. Inside, my reflection, whole, mouth clean, but when I reach, the glass bulges. A pupil widens behind it. Cold slides between my vertebrae. The silhouette croons. Almost done. I shut my eyes, count the distant buzz of street lamps. They answer.